What's going on? So I'm getting ready to code the hardest project I've really ever done. The part that's difficult is not only the technology, it's new. There's not much documentation on how to do something like this. I don't know any Rust at all. I'm going to figure that out too. But there's a ton of problems with how to use AI and go from something that very few people have done just using AI because there's not that much information on the internet. I'm going to show you guys the most effective setup that I've found from the fresh start of a brand new project in order to really use AI and Cursor specifically to quickly tackle any project, even if there's very little information about it on the internet. So in this video, I'm going to build a Solana app that uses AI. We have something pretty difficult and pretty new. There's not much information about how to connect everything together on the internet. There's some, but it might not be perfect and we're going to have to figure it out together. It's essentially using the Solana blockchain to pay for AI queries. And we're just going to walk through that role right now. I'm in Cursor right now and I have a brand new project. And in this project, all I did was open up a chat. Now I'm going to do @ and you see a bunch of different queries kind of come up. What I need here is docs. And because this application is using a bunch of different frameworks and a bunch of different technologies, I need to feed it the documentation so that Cursor understands what to do. So let me just do that really fast. We're going to go to, it already has the NextJS docs in here, I believe. Yeah, we have NextJS, so let's add those. And now we're also going to add two others. We're going to add the Supabase documentation. And oftentimes the best documentation you can pull up is called the reference. So it'll look something kind of like this, which would be the /reference/JavaScript. So I'm going to take this URL and I'm going to add my own documentation. Add a new doc. We're now going to add our link right here. And this is just going to be called Supabase. And the next thing we're going to add is another documentation. And I'm adding all of the technologies that I plan on using. So the other one is the Anchor programming language, which is a framework in Rust specifically for working with Solana programs, which are known as smart contracts on Solana. So over here is the official Anchor documentation. I'm going to take that URL and go to, once again, add a doc, put it in here, and this is called Anchor. And the other thing I need to do is add the Solana JS documentation. And pull it up here. And once again, I'm going to do the last thing, which is add again, add a new doc, adding a link in for the JavaScript version. And this will be the same for anything in your projects as well. So if you have a really complicated project that uses a bunch of different libraries and tools that are unconnected and unrelated, upload the documentation into Cursor so it understands what it is that you're trying to do. And now for the next thing that we're going to do, and maybe the most important, is we're actually going to write a set of rules for Cursor to understand. And what that really is here is we're going to go to the rootmost folder in our project. We're going to add a new file. And this file will be called .cursor rules. Essentially, now that I'm in the Cursor rules, what I need to do here is give it a set of instructions. And the best way to get instructions right now is from cursor.directory. I'm sure this is going to change, and there's a ton of different ways that you can kind of get a maybe even more optimal solution for your project in particular by using I would recommend running this through Claude and explaining to Claude perhaps what you want to build. But what we're going to do down here is find the Supabase one. I know that this uses NextJS as well, and that is our current stack, right? It is NextJS, Supabase, and Solana stack. So let me write that down, and we're going to save it to our Docker rules. Now, what I'm going to do here is just quickly edit this through to make sure that it makes sense for our project. So I've now edited this, and I kept it really simple. There was only so much to edit here up above, and I think it'll give us a good basis point anyways. So if you're setting up a brand new project, at this point, you're ready to start querying and doing things that you want to do, right? But maybe you're asking yourself, how do I build what it is I need to do? And how do I ask AI in order to, point me in the best direction? Because that's the hardest part, right? Is asking the right question. What I would really recommend doing here is going to Perplexity. And Perplexity does a few things. You can also do @web here, and now you're able to search the internet. If you're here and you're at this kind of point where you have everything set up, but you don't know exactly where to start, I would use Perplexity. Pay for it. Use Perplexity Pro. It seriously does give a much better answer, but you can also use web, like I was saying over here in the cursor chat. I would break it down like this. Perplexity can point you in a really good direction, and it also breaks down exactly where those resources are. So you can just go ahead and follow along those docs yourself if you find that helpful, or if that's just the way you like coding. It is a great way to kind of learn and check back between the two. But this is how I'm setting up my new projects for some of the most complex things that I've ever built. And I don't think before Cursor that this was even possible. I wouldn't have taken this on alone, but with Cursor, I think anything is possible. At least it feels like that for someone who at least slightly understands how to program. So thank you so much. Again, we're going to walk through this entire process. I'm going to build this entire app on this vlog, and I hope everyone enjoys it. So check out our services, subscribe, please, like the video, and we're going to build a ton more of cool stuff. So stay tuned. Thanks so much.